Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, maybe our last of 2018. In this one, we're going to start things off by giving our thoughts on The Walking Dead still being the most pirated or torrented series of 2018. And I'll put the link in the description so you guys can go ahead and check this one out from torrentfreak.com. So you can go through and see kind of which series were the most pirated series of the year for 2018. And Happy New Year, guys. So 2018 is just about over. It's just coming to a close here now. So, I hope you had a great year and looking forward to lots of fun things coming in 2019. Even though there are a lot of shows that are ending. So there's a lot of series that are wrapping up in 2019. So we'll give it might be a little bit sad. We'll give our final thoughts on some, and we'll speculate later on in this video on some series that are still going and how much longer we think they can last. Specifically Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. We'll get into that a little bit after this. But so for this one, The Walking Dead, number one, the most torrented series or pirated series of the year of 2018. I think it's a win. I don't want Gail and her to bite my head off. I think this question was asked a few years ago, and at a Comic-Con. I think she got angry because, she doesn't want people pirating the show because, it's kind of her show in a lot of ways. She doesn't get a lot of credit for all the work she's done on Walking Dead. Usually it goes to the showrunners and stuff like that, but she's done as much work as anybody, I think, for the show. So I don't want to piss anybody off by saying this, you know what I mean? But, it is number one this year for people most downloading, and I should say as well too, guys. If you have cable, watch it on cable if you can. Helps the ratings, helps them pay for all the stuff they have to do for Walking Dead commercials and all that. And if you don't see the commercials, if you don't actually watch it live on cable or satellite or however you have access to AMC, then it doesn't, try to support the series as best as you can. Buy it on Blu-ray or whatever, DVD, whatever you got to do to try to support the show. Maybe get some merch for it, whatever, posters or whatever, I don't know. But try to support the series as best you can legally. If you live in a country, like I've got people, here or from the Netherlands and shit like that, I don't know if they even get it. So for those guys there, it's like, at first I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. If you watch it streaming online or you torrent it or whatever, I get it. But like I said, try to buy it afterwards. If you're gonna do that, buy it to go along with it. Meet you in the middle, right? Go halfway. At least support the series in whatever way you can. But I think it's a win. I think it's a win that The Walking Dead is the most downloaded series of 2018. Torrenting or pirating, it's not something that's ever gonna go away. Let's be honest here. It's not something that will ever go away or can be stopped or will be stopped. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? And it's not just for Walking Dead. This is for any series, because this is a list of, all the series that were most torrented. Last year it wasn't, because Game of Thrones, but it's not really a fair contest with Game of Thrones, because with Game of Thrones you actually have to pay for HBO specifically just to watch that series. So that one is even more like, that one's even more, difficult to actually watch the show. It's not like you can just get cable and have kind of your channel pack where it's going to include AMC as part of the channel pack. With, HBO, you actually have to, usually fork out the cash just for that channel in particular, and it's more expensive, right? So for that one, last year it was number one. I'm writing still number one this year for Walking Dead because The Walking Dead has gone through so many changes this year. There is zombie fatigue coming up, as I like to call it. What we've seen with recently, if you guys didn't see the videos this week, Z Nation has been canceled. So, that's one after 5 seasons. It's finished. It's done. And this is something that, you're kind of seeing across the board now, because a lot of the zombie series have been on for many years, with The Walking Dead being kind of the leader as far as that goes. So it's number one. Number two is The Flash. Number 3 is The Big Bang Theory. Then we got Vikings at number 4. A lot of people like Vikings, so that's one that is up from last year. Last year was 8. This year it's the 4th. So that's pretty cool. I might have to check out Vikings. But basically, the way I'm looking at this list is like, which shows mean the most to people, to the point where they're willing to break the law to get them. You see what I'm saying? Which shows are people actually going to go out of their way, to go and find and do whatever they got to do in order to watch them. Desperate measures, right? That's the way I look at it. It's a desperate measure, to get it. So there's that. There's Titans, which again, that's one where it's like you got to have the subscription. And again, there's certain countries that you probably can't get it in. Like I said, Netherlands and places like that. I highly doubt you can get you would have access to some of these in those places, unless you have a really expensive, satellite package or something that somehow would include it. Then we've got Arrow at number 6. So Arrow's still going strong. Arrow's been going for a long time now too, as well, right? Long run for Arrow, longer than I thought it was going to go for. So congratulations to their team. Supernatural, Westworld, that's another series a lot of people have been talking about. DC Legends of Tomorrow, and Suits at number 10. So those are the top 10, with The Walking Dead taking the cake. Number 1, the most demanded online, I would say, series of 2018, because Game of Thrones, of course, did not show up this year. 2019 will probably be Game of Thrones. This is his last year. But, this means that, you can look at it a negative way, like I said. You can look at, people shouldn't be doing that. So, yeah, I get it. I know. People are going to do stuff they're not supposed to do. It's just, it's what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not going to I'm not a police officer. I'm not Rick, right? I'm not going to go pre-zombie apocalypse Rick on you here. I'll be more like post-zombie apocalypse Rick, right? It's like people are going to do stuff. Yeah, it's what it is, but I think it's a win that it's the most in terms of demand. It's the most demanded series where people want to watch it a second time. People want to get it, maybe, and then later, of course, that's going to convert into Blu-ray sales, and it's going to convert into merchandise and all the other stuff that they offer for Walking Dead. So I think that's really good. I think that's a really good showing, and that's another metric you can look at, versus just looking at ratings, which are down across the board because online is becoming. You got Netflix as a powerhouse now. It's back in the 6 years ago, Netflix was like, yeah, that's cool. Some people have Netflix. Now it's like everybody's got Netflix, and everybody binges shows, and everybody knows what that is, and everyone does that. So the world has changed, right? There's no question about that. But the fact that The Walking Dead is still one that people are willing to do that, or are willing to want to go out and get, and there's a demand for that there, like that. Like I said, guys, watch it online, or watch it on cable if you can. Watch it and help them get their commercial stuff, so they can continue to make a great series for us for years to come. But I'm also looking at it as a win the fact that it's the most demanded online series of this year. So that's good for Walking Dead, man. That means people want it, right? That's the way you're looking at it. People want to see it, and they're willing to do what they have to do in order to see it. That's it. Support the series, guys, right? So support it the right way, and but I'll take that as a win. I'll take the wins where we can get them. So the next part of this came into play because, of course, with Z Nation ending this week, there are obviously parallels that people draw between Z Nation and Fear the Walking Dead. So this is one where, with Fear the Walking Dead, it is, in a lot of ways, especially this season, if you look at the second half of Season 4, Morgan and Friends, or Morgan's series of Fear, there's a lot of episodes there, especially with the gas station group, as I like to call the truckers, the trucker group. That really reminds me of Z Nation. There's like the hurricane or tornado or whatever it was, a hurricane that came through, and it's like blowing zombies all over the place. It had a lot of similarities in terms of feel and in terms of what they were doing to Z Nation. Now, Z Nation has been canceled. It will not get a season 6 unless it somehow gets saved by another network like Netflix or something. It's canceled, and it most likely will not come back on Sci-Fi. So with that happening, a lot of people are questioning, Trav, how much longer do you think that Fear the Walking Dead can last now that Z Nation is done? So since Z Nation is dead, and zombified and dead again, zombie killed, right? How much longer can Fear the Walking Dead actually realistically get? So we know Season 5 for Fear the Walking Dead has been renewed, so it's going to happen. It's 2019. They're coming up with a Season 5, and I'm happy to hear that. That's great. After that, it would be, of course, if it gets renewed again, Season 6. So here's what I'm thinking. Again, we can look at ratings, but I don't want to beat it to death with regards to demand is going down a bit, right? For Fear the Walking Dead, it's declining more than you thought it would. Season 4, they did a lot of crazy changes. They made a lot of big character deaths and characters crossing over, Morgan crossing over, and a lot of things happening, a lot of changes in the series. And it was able to keep, I think they did about as well as they probably could to try to keep people watching to see what would happen next, and not just do like a regular run-of-the-mill season where nothing really changes and there isn't really enough stuff to keep people glued or keep people engaged in the series. I think they did about as much as they probably could based on the budgets that they have for the series. So I'd mostly say that it's probably a win in terms of trying to keep people watching and in terms of changing things up enough to where people are going to want to check it out and going to want to see how different it is. So and you can look at that whichever way you want. You can look at it as, okay, it wasn't because of the characters they killed off and you didn't like it personally. So that's fine. You can view that either way if you want to. But season 5 is in the bag. That's going to be done for sure. Season 6, I think we'll get a season 6 of Fear, because it'll probably still be in the couple million to 3, maybe like 1.5 to 3 million US viewer per episode type of range. Now, after that, it's going to be hard to see. After season 6 is going to be really difficult to see whether or not it will get a season 7. If it does get a season 7, I'll do predictions here now because I don't have any problem with doing predictions and possibly being wrong or maybe being close. Because who knows? It could Fear go on even further to season 10 or something. I guess it's possible. Maybe if they have a low budget and it doesn't cost that much to do the series, then maybe they could get like 10 years out of Fear. But I'm going to predict with kind of the trend that we're seeing happen right now. Season 5, yep, it's done. Season 6, okay, probably get renewed for season 6. Then season 7, I'm starting to think that they might get to the point, if it continues to kind of decline year by year, to the point where in season 7, it might get to around 1 million US viewers per episode. Then they might want to amalgamate it with the original series. They might want to cancel off Fear, and they might want to have the group, Morgan and the others, join whoever's still alive at that point, because that'd be a few years out from here, right? So season 7, maybe the final year. This is just my predictions. It could happen in season 6 if it dive bombs in season 5 and 6, but I don't think it will. I think it's kind of going to be these things tend to kind of be a drastic decline. Like I've been saying for years, I thought Z Nation would be canceled, and eventually it would be. Like back in season 3 or 4, I think I started saying that, and now it actually has been. So I think for Fear, 5, yep, it's done. 6, probably, yeah, fine. 7, okay. Yeah, but that's probably it. Would it get a season 8? I tend to think probably not, but who knows? I mean, a lot of the information is, is behind closed doors. You don't know, how much it costs for them to make an episode of Fear, how much, ad revenue they get from producing Fear, how many people buy it after, for their DVD, Blu-ray collection, how much, merchandise they can sell based on it. Can they sell Morgan action figures based on it? I don't know. Can they sell posters for Fear? Will people buy them? These are all really, really good questions, right? So you don't know all the details, and of course that's just US. There's also international viewership too, so maybe it's fine. Maybe a lot of people internationally watch AMC in the UK and in Canada and in other places, and it's just fine, and the US viewership is just a small portion of that. I don't know, right? Very simply, I don't know. But just to kind of guess, based on the way things are going, I'm going to predict that I think season 7 might be the last season for Fear. If it can get past that and it's still okay, then maybe they could get to around a season 10 or something. But I'm going to guess that season 7 probably will be the last year of Fear. And I am expecting it to recombine with the original series when they finish it, because I think that'd be smart. And you could even extend the original Walking Dead series runtime if there aren't business deals and contracts that would mess that up. From 16 episodes, maybe you could go up to 18 or 20 or something and have Morgan and his group, lead some of those. I don't know. Maybe you could, maybe you couldn't due to contracts and business arrangements. But, that's my predictions for Fear. You guys can leave your comments below. How much longer do you think Fear can last now that you've seen Z Nation be canceled? And then to continue, there was one from AMC where they gave their thoughts on hoping for a long future from The Walking Dead. That was December 30th, so just now, basically. IndieWire, creatively, we are doing some different things. In Season 9, AMC Programming President David Madden told IndieWire, Season 9 takes a big time jump, so he goes into some of the things that are changing. But basically, long story short, they have plans to do the Rick Grimes-led TV trilogy alongside spin-off of Fear the Walking Dead, and possibly additional films, specials, series, and other digital content to be shepherded by Chief Content Officer Gimple. So Gimple's going to continue to do, all the other stuff that he's doing, and you have all the other, all of the Walking Dead content that they're creating. So hoping for a long future for The Walking Dead. What do you think, Trev? So, and what do you guys think as well, too? Leave your comments below on the future for The Walking Dead. Well, I think the original canon series, The Walking Dead, is fine. I think that the original canon series will do just fine. I think it will continue for many more years to come. I don't think there's any need to be worried about the original series right now. Season 10 is probably a lock. Season 11 is probably a lock. Season 12, most likely. Then after that, we'll have to see. But I think personally, the Walking Dead original TV series is probably fine. I don't think we really have to worry about that. The movies, yeah, those are going to be win easy. Everyone's going to want to see those. They built it up in a fantastic way, and everyone's going to want to see the movies. Those two are just fine. Fear the Walking Dead for me is the wild card. It's the one where I think maybe a couple more years, like I said, and then after that we'll have to see if they want to keep doing it. I hope they will. I hope they will continue with Fear, and you'll have AMC kind of position themselves as an old school channel, right, in a modern digital age that has kind of dead quarters. I think there were some images I saw, the AMC dead quarters, right? So they've kind of branded themselves. They've sort of branded in The Walking Dead and the zombie apocalypse universe in with the network. It's their biggest draw. It's their biggest draw they've ever had, I think, overall. There's nothing else that really compares to The Walking Dead. And even Fear has done very well compared to a lot of their other series. So even Fear, is going to be in its 5th year. It started off, it was like 10 million when it started, U.S. viewers, so it had a lot of hype going in. And they weren't able to keep that, unfortunately, which, even The Walking Dead's not getting that nowadays, the original canon series. But I still think the original canon Walking Dead will be good to go for many more years. The question mark will be Fear, and then the movies, I think, are a lock that those will definitely be win 100%. So for Fear, just a few comments. Game of Thrones Season 7 sucks, says, I stopped watching Fear when they killed N, and I'll keep that as, spoiler-free. If you've seen Fear, you already know. So, yeah, it's true that in Season 4 of Fear the Walking Dead, a lot of people might have been in disagreement about the certain characters that were killed off and kind of angry about it, but sometimes there's nothing they can do about it if certain people want to leave. And at least one thing for Fear is it has reinvented itself a lot, because we're seeing the Walking Dead original canon series do the same thing now. It's funny that Fear actually did it first in this case. Fear, the companion series, or the spin-off series, reinvented itself more first before The Walking Dead Season 9 even did. So it's kind of funny in a way that Fear kind of did something before the original did, and then the original, the very next year, kind of sort of did the same thing. So that's funny, man. That's kind of strange that it just kind of worked out that way. But you can see that, and I'm just really happy for the original canon Walking Dead series that even though Rick is left for the movies, there's still pretty much exactly the same amount of people watching. It didn't kill the series. It didn't kill the fan base. Everybody is basically still watching, even though Rick is gone, which is very surprising because it's not what they said they were going to do. You know what I mean? It's not what people don't always do what they say they're going to do. But apparently in this case, nobody did what they said they were going to do. Pretty much, basically, pretty much nobody did. So that's funny to say about people, right? Rap, well, when you're in the situation and you hear it a certain way and you think he's going to be killed off via a whisper, slash, or something, or stab, then that's different from the way it actually turned out. So maybe it's not fair to say. Rap, Quebecois, says, would be way better to bring back Taqa and Crazy Dog. So for the next season of Fear, well, we'll see. I can't wait to see the trailer and see what they have for us for Fear. I keep my expectations for Fear somewhat moderate. I never expect it to be as good as the original Walking Dead series. I never expect it to usually be close. I usually expect it to be about half as good or a little bit over half because that's probably about the budget it gets. It probably only gets maybe less than half in terms of a budget than the original TV series gets. I pretty much guarantee you there's no way in all hell that Fear gets the same budget as the original Walking Dead series gets. I'd almost guarantee you there's no way. Dank says Season 3 was great, but Season 4 was dog shit. I'm dropping Fear the Walking Dead. So some people dropping it off. So that's fine, no problem. It's natural run of things, I think, anyway. And, it's a rare series that after many years can start to regain a lot of viewers after it's dropped them off. It'd have to be extremely good to be able to do that, right? And that'll be it for today's video, guys. Happy 2019, Happy New Year, and let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. The Walking Dead being the most pirated or torrented series of 2018, and how much longer do you think Fear can get? How much longer do you think The Walking Dead will last? Those are my predictions on that. Those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think. If you like the video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe, I'd appreciate it, and you can do it. Bottom left to subscribe. That's it for this one. See you guys again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev, and I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.